All right, hi guys, and what's up? Welcome back to the wraparound post game Raptors live show. Uh, my name is LD, aka Lowry, aka Alex, aka Lauva. You can find me at Lauva88 on Twitter, and you can always check back here on the channel to watch old videos and of reactions gone by. So. With further ado, we'll get right into it. So we're gonna break down what's been happening here in terms of the Raptors game that happened last night. So they took on the Orlando Magic, November 29th, and I was at work. I was at work this evening or last evening, and only managed to catch things out of the glimpse of my eye, but. Number one, obviously, that stood out was those Home Depot jerseys that the Orlando Magic were wearing. You know, they typically wear the obviously the light blue. They got the Disney logo in the top left corner, and so they kind of mix it up, right? City jerseys. Anyway, when it came back to the game, I mean, the Magic were in it. They'd already lost twice to the Raptors twice earlier this season. And I think I speak for all of Raptors Twitter. We've probably seen enough of the Orlando Magic, and we don't see them again until the last day of the regular season, so at least we get a break from them. But anyway, so we played them again. We played them at home the first two times. We played them tonight in Orlando. Dr. J was in the house watching sidelines, so we had a little bit of cachet at the game too. Shout out to Dave Grizich. He was also at the game on vacation, so hopefully he had a good time out there. So going back to the game, right? So, I mean, the Magic, they were out there blocking shots. Freddie V was out there getting blocked a lot at the rim. Jonathan Isaac is turning himself slowly into Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We've had a little bit of buzz there across the airwaves. The Ringers mentioned that as a possibility. Not the front runner in DPOY voting, but, we're making a name for himself. Guards Pascal pretty well. Speaking of, Pascal had a pretty rough night. He went, I think, 4 for 22 or something. I got to look that up. But probably his worst shooting game as a Raptor, at least this year, and maybe even last year. Players are going to have duds once in a while. Obviously, most improved. People, start expecting things of you. MVP, votes might be coming this spring. So, obviously, you can't really have bad games if you're the lead guy. And we said that earlier, too, in the season when he started fouling out really early. Big problem was that he was building up those fouls, and you can't have your lead guy foul out of really, really close games. Same idea. You can't throw up, 4-22 like a DeMar-like playoff appearance of years past, right? You got to be able to, hang your hat on some consistency. I mean, he's not Joel Embiid, who's 0 from the, friggin' field and free throw line. We got some points out of Pascal, some good defense, but, that'll happen. So of all people, the guy that really propped the Raptors up last night was Norman Powell. 33 points, I think, is a career high. Just blew the doors off the Magic. I think a lot of Raptors Twitter's been saying that he raises the ceiling of this particular iteration of the Raptors team. And I think they're right. Like when he's on, he's playing like Kobe. He's got that like nasty first step. He finishes pretty well around the rim, and like when he's committed to a drive and he's only got one-on-one and there's little rim protection, like he can almost score whenever he wants. He just kind of gets in his own head and doesn't know where he is on the offense. Doesn't really know where he fits in. I think this was easy for him to take over just because everyone else was struggling so bad from three. Obviously Pascal, Freddie was doing his thing, but. Terrence Davis, he's playing okay. OG was missing things. He was getting locked up a little bit. I think Aaron Gordon was playing defense on him, so he didn't have the best night either. But Norm, I mean, memories of those Bucks series, he always comes alive. Just when you thought you wouldn't get him and you need him, he sometimes shows up. So kudos to Norm on that performance. Yeah, you received a lot. Yeah, Freddie got blocked a lot last night, and I mean, so what? He's like 6'1", so yeah, he's definitely short for an NBA size. But kudos to him. He kept making those drives, and I think that that probably sends a message to at least the teammates like we got to try something, even if they got Mo Bamba and what's his face, Isaac and Gordon out there swatting shots. Like look, Orlando's like a rangy long defense. Obviously, they're going to have some kind of say on the defensive end, as evidenced by how low scoring this game ended up being. I mean, we didn't really see. I mean, I think it was the first time in a while that the Raptors haven't hit 100 points. So that just goes to show, the defensive quality of both teams, even though both had, awful shooting nights. I think that can be attributed a little bit to luck as well, or bad luck. Scrappy game. Definitely caught in mud. Not the most pleasing aesthetically, right? Like, you're looking at the orange font on the court there and their jerseys and what the score was, and the fact we've already seen the Magic 3 times already since the beginning of the season. This is just kind of like a throwaway one. Like, I'm even glad I didn't get to watch all of it. It's good seeing it back though, just because Norm was keeping us in it. There's definitely some like positive vibes, and the fact that this team can win scrappy is always a good sign. Generally speaking, like, we've been either blowing teams out or comfortable leads or hitting threes or playing pretty, and this is definitely one of those times where we were not playing pretty, and neither were they, and that's a testament to our defense. Like, I think we'll go as far as our defense takes us, and I don't know. I always love watching these defensive sequences. It's just such a breath of fresh air. If you ever go back like 2 or 3 years and watch some old DeMar highlights, like, he's like Harden level. No disrespect, we all love DeMar, but you could pick on him or JV in the pick and roll, and if you fell back too far close to the bucket, they just shoot mid range over him. Like Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler did that famously when we kept playing the Bulls, and that's why he had such a long losing streak against them. But awesome watching a great defensive team. So you could even see it post game. When Steve Clifford was asked, okay, you played these guys a bunch now, and what'd you learn from it? Just, he was really, really mad about the turnovers, but at the same time, like, our team's a measuring stick for everybody. They, who said that after the last game we played? When we blew out the Knicks, Fizdale was like, that's the team that, we can learn from. The way they hustle, the way they fly around on defense, and the way that they share the ball. Like, this is why we went 17-5, last year without Kawhi whenever he was sitting for load management reasons or whatever else it was. It's a different offense, right? We had last year Zach Lowe, Kevin Arnovitz, even our local guys, Eric Koreen. They're all saying there's 2 different offenses. Last Christmas they were saying that, like, how do we put them together? And now we don't have to worry about that so much. Kawhi was ISO heavy, took his own time. I feel like everybody here on our team this year is playing at about the same speed. Same unselfishness. Like, it doesn't really matter who gets the points. Like, for example, I love watching Rondé. Rondé Hollis Jefferson is like, I don't know if he'll be here longer than a year, but I think he's definitely earned himself already more money wherever he goes next, like his next contract. Like, I know he's in the dunker spot. But the thing is, like, his offensive rebounding, I just feel happy whenever he scores. Like, I feel like he feels like he's a contributor, and that's part of the system thing. I think nobody, like, we have stars, and Pascal might be the 7th best guy in the league, right? But at the same time, like, I feel like everybody thinks that that they belong, and I don't know, the distribution. Yeah, we go Pascal ISO heavy, but sometimes Fred takes over. Like Norm tonight, like, I can't get over that. OG's had some really, really nice nights. Mark's never taken over, but we know what Mark is by now. Defensive, pinging the ball all over the place, plays amazing post defense when we need it against, like, the traditional big guys, right, out in the league. So yeah, like, let's call it democracy, right? We got a democratic offense out here. So yeah, so you can see that now we kind of put the foot down to the Magic, and big part of it was just that we kept scrapping, didn't put our heads down, even though that we were on the road, and it all was kind of looking against us and didn't look like we were actually going to do anything proper. And now I'm just rambling, right? But at the end of the day, awesome show by them. Really enjoyed what they brought to the table. I think that's now 6 in a row. We play Utah next, right? So Utah's now coming to Toronto on Sunday. So I'll make sure to shoot up a live stream then. Do a little post game. We'll show the live feed. I can't remember if it's TSN or Sportsnet that's showing it, and we'll have that going live. If we have post game stuff, we'll show that here, and we'll run a chat box, talk about it. Any questions come in, we can field those. And yeah, we're trying to get this media platform, because right now in the Raptors sphere, yeah, we got call-in shows, but they're infrequent, and we got tons of pods, which is great for the community. We got tons of blogs, which is great for the community. But I think once we start roping in, like, video reaction like this, rope it into a call-in show eventually, chats, try to rope all that all together, I think we're gonna have a dynamic experience, right? And then videos that you'll be able to watch later. So, until then, this will be up, and let's keep this ball rolling.